Western kingbirds, common throughout the West, are mainly prairie birds. But they like to nest on utility poles where their babies are high enough to be safe from most predators. So they'll also nest in the suburbs and even in cities. This nest is 100 feet from several handball courts, but it's also 75 feet up, so the parents aren't disturbed by the handball matches. Their territories overlap with their cousins, eastern kingbirds. They're not kissing cousins. In fact, the Latin name for each species is tyrannus, because the little tyrants will defend their territories from their cousins, and even from any hawk that thinks he'd like eggs for lunch. That's why he's called a kingbird, because he'll take on all comers. All the western kingbird requires, besides height in a nesting site, is insects. He's what's called a flycatcher, meaning that he perches high up and sallies out to capture houseflies, butterflies, damselflies, dragonflies, wasps, whatever. Baby birds are never picky eaters. Dragonfly. It may look to you like someone jammed an open pair of tongs down his throat, but the anatomy in his mouth isn't like yours. He has an extra large esophagus and isn't having any trouble breathing. His thought on the matter is that he's swallowing a large, satisfying morsel that might keep him from feeling ravenous for another 20 minutes. If you're wondering what the parent carried away from the nest, it's a dirty diaper. Right after eating, most songbird nestlings excrete a fecal sac, white feces, neatly packaged in a clear membrane. There's no such thing for birds as changing dirty diapers, just the duty of carrying those sacs away. That nest is higher than the highest high dive, but this baby can hardly wait to try a 1.5 gainer in the pike position off that utility pole. And 2 days later, all of them have taken the dive. They can't fly much, but they have managed to cross the street and gather in a tree, still squawking for food and showing their parents those little orange maws. They spent 2 weeks in the nest, and they're toddlers now, though they look almost as big as adults. In another couple of weeks, they'll be teenagers. And we think our kids grow up fast.